morning, everybody. Fox News Alert now. We have brand new polling numbers, and guess what, America? Donald Trump is still on top, solidifying his frontrunner status and hitting best numbers for him since entering the race for the White House. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bill Hemmer as we say hello to you. Welcome to America's Newsroom.
Good morning, Bill Hemmer. Good morning, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum. So as Bill was just saying, Trump reaching a new high. In the latest Wall Street Journal NBC poll, he leads the pack, 25% of the vote. That's his highest number yet. Carson's at 22. That's inside the margin of error, so they could be essentially seen as tied in this poll. Marco Rubio, 13%, up a couple of points. Ted Cruz, up a few points as well, at 9%. Then you've got Jeb Bush at 8%. Carly Fiorina in about the same spot she's been in for a bit at 7%. They round out the top of this field. And Trump, surprise, surprise, expecting nothing less than the first place finish.
The Wall Street Journal, NBC, just came out with a new poll, and the headline is Trump on top, highest points he's gotten so far. We're in number one position, and you have a lot of people that are not doing well in that poll, I'll have to tell you. You have a lot of zeros. You know, 0, 0, 0.
Byron York, chief political correspondent of Washington Examiner. Never a zero. Fox News contributor. Good morning to you, Byron.
Good morning, Bill.
I want to show the polling numbers again. You will see that panel on the right at less than 1%. That's the 0-0 that Trump's talking about. This poll tells you that Trump has staying power.
He's back up. He is back up. We saw Donald Trump dip a little bit in September after the Republican debate on September 16th. Seems to be moving back up. By the way, there's yet another new poll out this morning from CNN that has Trump at 27. More confirmation that that's going on. There is a theory about what has taken place with Trump and this dip that he had in late September. And basically, it's that some of his voters, perhaps they were disappointed in his debate performance or for some other reason, they developed doubts about him and they shopped around other candidates. His support went down, but they shopped around and they didn't find anybody they liked as much as Trump, and they have returned. And the theory goes, once they've gone away and come back, they don't leave again. So Trump is actually looking pretty good right now.
With Trump and Carson, 1-2. You know what I noticed? Fiorina's going, she's stagnant. And Jeb Bush isn't moving much either.
No, Bush has gone basically steadily down. I mean, if you look, he was at 23 in this Wall Street Journal poll over the summer, and now he is at 8. That is just a steady downward move. Now, with Fiorina, there's something kind of a troubling pattern for her. You've seen her pop up after a debate performance. She was in the debate that you and Martha moderated in August. She did very well, popped up in that, and then she slid down in the polls a little bit. Then after the next Republican debate, the one in September, she went way up after that and has now slid down a little bit. So we'll have to see what she does after the Republican debate next week, but that's got to be kind of a troubling pattern for her right now.
That's a week from tomorrow, Wednesday night. Now, Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, I mean, it's a parlor game, as you know. I want to play you two clips. First, Hillary Clinton, when asked about her biggest enemy from the debate last week, and then what Joe Biden said yesterday. Watch.
Which enemy are you most proud of?
In addition to the NRA, the health insurance companies, the drug companies, the Iranians, probably the Republicans.
Darrell Issa, not a Republican friend of mine. He's a friend. I don't consider Republicans enemies. They're friends.
You can debate what the intent was there. I think it was pretty obvious.
I think it was pretty obvious, too. I don't think there's any other way to interpret that but as a kind of a jab from the vice president at Hillary Clinton, who got a lot of criticism for lumping in Republicans with Iranians as her enemies. And I think Biden took advantage of that. And by the way, this is more than just a little bitty jab. I think that if the vice president does run, one of his main selling points is going to be that he can work with Republicans in this very partisan and divided city. He's been here for 40 years and has developed many friendships with Republicans who have high personal regard for him.
Yes or no, is he in or out?
You know, I'm saying no, but look, there are a lot of signs that say yes.
I've said no for months. I'm sticking to it. Byron York, thanks from Washington. I'm always wrong, by the way. I mean, if you want to know what's going on in the world, ask
we'll
Cameron
both be wrong.
and do the opposite. Thank you, Byron.
Thank you.
So there's yet another salvo in the Trump versus Bush feud and the blame for 9/11. Jeb Bush aggressively defending his brother George's legacy after Trump claimed that he would have protected the country from the devastating tragedy. Jeb slamming that frontrunner, saying that Trump has no idea how foreign policy actually works. Watch this.
Donald Trump has said, let ISIS take out Assad. And then he says, let Russia take out ISIS. He was happy that Russia is in Syria. That is not in our strategic interest to allow Russia to gain influence. You can't expect the Soviet Union, whose only objective is to prop up its client state, Assad, to take out ISIS. That's not their intention. And this lack of understanding of how the world works is what the problem is.
Meanwhile, Trump brushing off those jabs earlier today, taking a question about national security and tracing it back, as he often does, to illegal immigration.
I know a lot about national security. I've always known a lot about national security. But a lot of national security is immigration policy. We get right back down to one of my main themes, a theme that I was absolutely killed on for 2 weeks after I announced that I was running for president. Now everybody agrees with me.
This is really interesting going back and forth. We're going to talk about Karl Rove and a couple other things coming up in a moment here. 0, 0, 0, 0. 0 is the quote of the day.
There's a lot of zeros up there. We're also going to show some very interesting quotes from a piece that Donald Trump wrote, a book that he wrote right before 9/11 that talks a lot about bin Laden. It talks very specifically about the threats that he thought the country faced at that time. We'll show you those coming up as well.